The time is now. Get ready for the Incarceration 2018 Music and Tattoo Festival, July 13th, 14th, and 15th. The Ohio State Reformatory, Shawshank Prison, Mansfield, Ohio. Starring Rise Against. A Day to Remember. Bush. Black Label Society. Clutch. And Our Lady Peace. Suicidal Tendencies, Hate Breed, Fuel, Seven Dust, Of Mice and Men, At Elitist Way, Living Color, and many others. 2 stages, 70 tattoo artists, sideshows, camping, vendors, and more. Single day and weekend tickets available now at frontgatetickets.com and incarceration.com. Lock up your summer concert plans today for the Incarceration Festival.
Hey, this is Michael Sweet from Striper, and you are listening to Blevins Nation Podcast.
Hi, this is Chris with Blevins Nation Podcast, and we are on the phone today with Brandon Paul, lead guitar player for Stonebreed. And they just...
Hey.
Hey, what's going on, man? How's it going?
It's going good. Really good. Out here in Southern California, the weather's beautiful, and feels good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Oh, hell yeah. I've been trying to talk my wife into moving to California because of the weather for years, but she won't have it, so... Anyway. Lord have mercy. So, well, cool. Let me first start off, man. I saw you do a live thing the other night before y'all went and played the whiskey. Actually headlined the whiskey, and that is the famous Whiskey A Go Go on Sunset Strip. Anyway, the dude, you can play the shit out of the guitar. You got a great tone.
No, thanks, man.
Got a great tone. I love Les Pauls. Always have. And but I gotta ask, how old are you?
Oh God, the big question. I get this all the time. That's funny, man. Well, thanks for watching the live feed the other day.
Oh yeah.
By the way, I appreciate that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and Les Pauls, I'm all about them. I love Les Pauls. I don't really like playing anything else. Most people who follow my stuff, they know that I'm always playing my custom shop or my standard. But so Les Paul all the way. To answer your question, I'm 29.
No shit, 29. Well, you look 19.
Yeah, well, I hear. Yeah, everyone gets disappointed when they hear I'm 29. They're like, "Oh, okay."
No, I'm not disappointed. That's experience, man. That means you got some experience, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so tell me a little bit about yourself. Where you're from? I mean, are you from California? Did you move to California with stars in your eyes? You know, when did you start playing guitar? All that good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm born and raised here in California, Southern California to be exact. And I didn't start playing music actually until I was about 16 years old. Okay. I started very late, and as soon as I started, I just knew it was something I had to take all the way, and I've always taken it very seriously. Before I was a musician, I was an athlete entirely. I just played basketball. I was a traveling basketball player, and transposing was kind of hard, you know, going from that to playing music. And, you know, you don't really have much athletes in music and vice versa. So it was quite challenging, but yeah, like I said, I started at about 16 years old and just kind of never looked back.
Wow, that's awesome. What'd you cut your teeth on as far as I mean, before you even wanted to be a musician, or when you just decided, what kind of music did you start out with?
Well, before I started playing music, ironically, I was actually really into like rap music and hip hop. I didn't, I was into like Tupac and Notorious B.I.G., Cypress Hill, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I when I started playing though, that's when I was really into the heavier stuff. I like Metallica, Megadeth, Pantera, pretty much a lot of like the thrash metal. Yeah, exactly. A lot of the heavier stuff. And then shortly after that, I started getting into jazz, and I kind of took some routes down that way for a while through high school into college, and then once I started playing out live a lot is when I started kind of toning back a little and going back to the roots, and I started focusing on, a little bit more blues and rock and roll. And, fast forward to today, I'm not really as much into the really heavy stuff. I like a lot of the playing. Anything that's passionate and has good energy I'm into. But in terms of musicality, nowadays I'm definitely more so into just groove, timing, and melody. So anything that has those three, Van Halen, Journey, all those bands are my favorite bands.
Okay. Hell yeah. I mean, Neil Sean, Eddie Van Halen, I mean, God, right there. That's
it's hard to beat that.
Yeah, exactly. So, that's cool, man. Let's see. Now, get to your band, Stonebreed. Well, let's start off. Were you in what was your first band you were in? Rock band.
The first band, wow, that's a good question. Looking back, I didn't actually really get into a band, or a real band, I should say, like a gigging band until I was probably about 20 years old. I spent the first 3 to 4 years practicing and just kind of playing on my own. And I had tried to start a band where I was kind of yelling into a microphone and playing guitar, and that wasn't really going very far. And then I joined a progressive metal band. We were actually a really good band. We were playing a lot of the clubs in LA, and we had some good deals going on. We were making some money, and it was pretty good at the time. But that was my first band. Yeah, first real band.
Okay. What was the name of that band?
Oh, that was Brutal Force.
Brutal Force.
Not to be mistaken with Brute Force, because that's a band that's on the same label that I'm on right now, actually.
Oh,
and
okay.
I remember, ironically, when I was in Brutal Force it was probably 8 years ago now, we had a MySpace back when MySpace was the thing.
Yeah.
And every time people would go look us up, they'd say, "Oh, I found you, and I listened to your music. It's Brute Force." And we were like, "No, not Brute Force, Brutal Force." So everyone would get so confused. And in hindsight, now I'm on the same label as that band. How about that, huh?
Funny how things work, you never know. So
you never know.
Yeah. So what label are you now? Is this a label that you're on, or is it a label that Stonebreed's on? Because I know watching you the Okay. Because watching you the other night, you were talking about some solo stuff that you do, so or going
I'd love to get into that too with you.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't have a label specifically for my instrumental music at the moment, but I probably will after I release my instrumental record in the next probably 4 months or so. We'll get into that. We'll get into that in a minute if you want to. But
yeah.
Stonebreed, yes, yeah. Stonebreed is on the label Rock Avenue Records. That's the label that we're on right now.
Okay.
And it's great. Yeah, it's great. It's been.
Where are they from?
They're from Los Angeles.
They're Los Angeles. Okay, cool.
Yeah, they come out to all our shows. They have CDs and all that good stuff. They have a lot of bands on their label, and yeah, it's great to be working with them. They're very, very good people.
That's cool. All right. Let's see. I know you just played the Whiskey. You're going on a few week tour. I think I'm good buddies with Daryl and Brian. I grew up with those guys down in Mississippi and played with them and stuff. But now I'm in Cincinnati. But I know that you're going to be working with Dirty Outlaw Entertainment, booking some shows. So, and I think they have y'all in either Louisiana or Mississippi. Is that right?
I'm not sure yet. Yeah, I've heard some things through the the grapevine, I guess, that we're supposed to be playing something out that way. I'm not sure if it's Mississippi or you would probably know before I would. I actually don't even know. Yeah, right. I don't even know the details of my own shows. I don't even know them personally. I just know that we're with them. I've never talked to them. I guess his name's Daryl, you said?
Yeah, Daryl Arnold. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he popped into my live stream the other day and said something, but I didn't catch that until I went back and reread some of the comments. But that's the only interaction I've actually had with that guy. So
okay.
I'm looking forward to it. I hope something comes out of it.
Oh yeah, definitely. They're growing, getting big. Real quick too, where can people check y'all out? Websites and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure. Yeah, so Stonebreed, I mean, you can check that out anywhere. You can go to Facebook, you can go Google, you can check. I believe we have an Instagram. I'm not sure it's that active, but Facebook is the number one place. We have a website, stonebreed.com, and everything's on all of those links. My own personal ones, I mainly use my Facebook fan page, like we were saying. People see the live streams. That's guitarist Brandon Paul. Same thing as Instagram. My tags are always the same, just at guitarist Brandon Paul.
Okay. Now, what about can they get your stuff, your music, Stonebreed's music online anywhere?
Yes. Yeah, I'm sorry, I totally failed to mention that.
Yeah,
iTunes. Yeah,
okay.
Everything's on iTunes, Spotify.
Google.
We have our latest record, Heart of... Yeah, exactly. Yeah, all of them, Google Play, anywhere you can pretty much buy music. The last record of Stonebreed, Heart of Stone, is on all those platforms. My last EP, Reflections, is on there as well. And, so anything that's upcoming, too, you'll be able to find on any of those platforms.
Okay. All right. Very cool. Any plans to make it up Midwest area anytime soon? I know you don't know for sure, but...
Yeah, I mean, we'd absolutely. We'd love to. We're booking a lot of stuff right now. Obviously, hence the booking agency. We're trying to kind of figure everything. It's tough to get out really far out there, if the accommodations and stipulations aren't right. But
yeah,
we have a bunch of Texas shows coming up in a couple weeks, and then I think we have Nebraska. I think that's still going on. There's a festival.
Might have been
in
in
New York.
Idaho.
I think that.
Okay.
I don't think we're doing Idaho. We did Idaho a few times last year. I'm not sure that we're getting out that way again. Yeah. Utah. Yeah, that's right. We're going to Utah.
Okay.
And what else is there? Some shows back in LA, of course. Yeah, it's hard to keep up with all of it. There's so many of them, and this is like nothing. I'm thinking like, when the real tours start happening all over the country, I'll really have to really calendarize all of that and start focusing on it.
Exactly. Well, I'm helping Daryl and them out, finding places, bands, and this and that, so I'm throwing y'all stuff around up here, spreading the word about you.
Oh, great.
And so hopefully something comes out of it. Lots of places around here to play, so... So that's cool. Now, tell me a little bit about your Well, I'll tell you what, real quick with Stonebreed. Who's in the band?
Okay, yeah, so it's a 4-piece band.
Mhm.
Obviously, I do the guitar work, and then Carlos Cruz, he's our singer, and Johnny Zell's the bass player, and Orion Rain, that's our drummer.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
How long y'all been together?
Well, I joined the band probably, I want to say about 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago now. Time flies. 3.5 years ago. But they've been a band for about 5, well, now probably about 6 years. But when I had joined, they had been a band for a couple of years, and they were already established, playing a lot of shows and whatnot. So about 3 years I've been in there, 3.5.
Okay, cool. All right. Yeah, so now let's get to the instrumental stuff. Now, are you a drummer and a bass player too? Or are somebody else gonna play those parts?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, right. I wish I was a spectacular drummer and anything else, but no. So, well, I composed everything. I composed obviously all the guitar parts. I play bass as well. I composed the piano part. There's going to be piano all over this next record. I composed drum parts. Yeah, and now when it comes to like the drumming and all that, I program it through one of my programs, and I plug it in. I play all the bass parts. I record the guitar, and then the piano, I demo it all through a program as well. But I'm pretty much hiring somebody to obviously play legitimate, piano and keys on the record. So I'll probably just be playing guitar, maybe bass on this instrumental record that I'm doing. I mean, this is a very serious thing for me. So I'm even hiring a violin player. Like, this is not going to be just a 1-2 punch in a basement kind of deal. I'm taking this all the way if I can. So
okay, all right. Well, I have a friend that from Mississippi that is in LA, has been there for a while. He's a hired gun. I mean, and he's a phenomenal drummer. I actually just did a podcast with him about a week ago. His name's Kyle Cunningham, and he also plays in the band Mad Life. So I mean, just throwing it out there. If you never know who you might need or want.
Yeah, sure. I'll look into it.
So he loves doing. He just loves playing. So, but anyway,
that's great.
That's cool, man. So what kind of, when you say instrumental now, what do you mean? Are you talking, Joe Satriani, Steve Vai, or are you talking, I mean, is it more rock oriented without vocals, or how's it going to be?
That's a great question, and I was definitely, hoping to inform a lot of people about that. My last instrumental EP was more along the lines of Steve Vai, Joe Satriani. Obviously, I can't play like those guys, but it was more very guitar virtuoso-y. This is much more musical in the sense. It's so melodic and groove-oriented. It's, it has a lot of piano. I mean, piano is one of the main accompanying instruments. That and the acoustic guitar, those are the main voices in the accompaniment, and then everything that I'm playing you can sing. It's all if you were to put a singer in there, it'd be easy because the melodies are all there.
That's what I was going to ask, and not to throw a wrench in anything, but just I was going to ask, is there a reason why you don't want vocals? I mean, not don't want vocals, but is there a reason why you want just instrumental? Is it because you can't sing and you just want to do, you know what I'm saying? I mean, not to bring that up. You said you were
No, I understand.
Hollering on stuff earlier,
Oh, you wouldn't want to hear me sing, trust me. No, and I mean, I can sing a little bit, but there's a different thing with instrumental music. You can do a lot more when there's no vocals at times. I love vocals, trust me, and that's why my main thing is playing in a band, because there's a singer, and that's number one. I prefer to be in a band with vocals and lyrics, of course, but to do something different and kind of stretch the boundaries of musical integrity, you can do so much with instrumental. And and a lot of people, I think a lot of people too, they don't like instrumental because a lot of it isn't singable. A lot of it is it's too, especially if it's guitar playing. Most guitar instrumentals that we know of, we're kind of tired of it after a song or two, because it's like, okay, we know you can play, but like, what are we really remembering here? Yeah. So I think a lot of people are going to be pleasantly surprised with my album. I really do. I've been cultivating this for a while now, and it's very emotional. All of it tells stories, so it's it's going to be great, man. I think you'll love it too. Absolutely.
Okay. Well, there's the guitar to me is a vocal part anyway. It's a vocal on top of the music, but we use it that way with a singer, but not as much. It's more of a, you got a rhythm, and then you also have some lead and stuff like that. But when you have a guitar singing over the top of music, that's really very interesting. Make it weep, make it cry, make it shout. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so.
Absolutely. And the thing, and like I was saying, with what I'm doing, and the beautiful thing about instrumental music is that you can really pull a lot of things out of a lot of instruments. When you hear this stuff, you're going to hear a lot of piano playing, a lot of acoustic guitar style, a lot of groove from the drums and the bass, and you're going to hear, like I said, some violin parts. You're going to hear the guitar voiced in a very different way for me than you would hear, let's say, and no discredit to, Joe Stracciani or any of those guys. I love them to death. They are where they are because they're the best. Let's be real. But when you listen to a lot of their instrumental stuff, you get lost, you don't fully, it doesn't make as much sense. It might be cool, especially if you're a guitar player, but the trick is, if you're not a musician at all, you want to hear it, and you don't want to say, well, where's the singer? You know what I mean? You want to say, oh, well, that's great, I love it the way it is. So that's what I'm trying to go for, I guess.
Yeah. Well, and there's a catch-22 with that, which there is with every damn thing now, but if you who's gonna buy Joe Satriani's stuff, who's gonna buy Steve Vai's stuff, I mean, the cool thing with Yngwie is he has vocals,
most of the time,
most of the time, right, so musicians are gonna buy it because they're like, oh, wow, that's the baddest shit I've ever heard, blah blah blah. But
that's right.
And I was a guitar player, singer, so I liked it either way. But people that don't understand it, they're just going to be like, what is that? Unfortunately.
Oh, totally. Yeah. No, totally. They're absolutely. I think with instrumental music, it's more about like a mood. It's if you can really accomplish a mood or a very direct, deep feeling about something, there's something that resonates in that. I think a lot more at times, even more so than with vocals. Because vocals is a very direct story. It's like, these are the lyrics. This is what the song is about. And whether you like it or not, this is what I'm going to say. You know what I'm saying? So at least with instrumental, you can set a mood and you can let the listener interpret and dictate it based on what they feel entirely, I guess.
Okay.
So,
well, a couple more questions here. I heard you say you did, you worked with jazz when you first got started, and some blues, and that's the cool thing is you could play blues and tell a story, and you don't have to sing. You know, the same thing with jazz.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, jazz can just like, you know, but it's everything. It's not just the guitar. You know, so are you going to incorporate any of that into this? Is it all going to be noodling? Is it going to be, you know, sweeping? You know, hey, look at me, I can sweep, blah blah. You know, I'm just throwing that out there, but I'm just saying, are you going to have any blues on the going to be in there or what?
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, most of the guitar solos, quote unquote, they are very bluesy. It's actually, nowadays, it's getting more towards like a Neil Sean kind of feel, where it's all about big bends and everything is singable.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the occasional sweep arpeggio or like a tapping thing.
Right.
There's the virtuoso stuff is going to be in there, you know. I can't.
Right.
I won't neglect my
roots
chops entirely, but
and your chops, okay.
That's what I'm saying. You're not going to listen to it and go, is this even the same guy? Like, I don't even hear any of the stuff that I see in his videos. No, you're gonna know it's me, you know. But it's you could put it like this. This is what I tell people all the time. It's not so much just a guitar record. It's not about the guitar playing. It's about the music and the story. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of piano and other instrumentation leading the way. And it's not... I hate that about guitar instrumental records now, where everything is just about the guitar. There's a rhythm, a big electric, distorted rhythm guitar as your rhythms, and that's doubled. And then you have all these wanky, noodly licks, and it's like, okay, you can play, but can you really tell us a slow story? You know what I mean? So you're gonna hear that with all of this music. I'm telling you, it's totally different side of me coming out.
Okay. Well, you know, me growing up, I'll be 48 in a few days, but I was, of course.
Well, happy birthday to you.
Oh, thank you. I was Eddie Van Halen, fan. Love Joe Walsh, all kinds of people.
Great, that's great.
But growing up, the '80s, I was a teenager in the '80s, and just, dude, Warden DeMartini, if we're at, and George Lynch were my two favorite guitarists. And dude, Mr. Scary is one of the coolest solos to me, because it has a little bit of everything. It's not just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that is a very,
Absolutely.
it's got some, doesn't have a whole lot of feel in it, but but I love other guitar players. Another one of my favorites is Peter Klett for Candlebox. That whole first album they played, was I could feel, it felt like I was feeling every freaking note he played in any song.
Absolutely.
Because it was more bluesy than any of the rest of them to me, but it just...
And I think, it's going to shock people too, because this album is nothing like what you would see in my live videos or whatnot. Even with Stonebreed, what you see there is not what you're going to hear on my record. It's not... I purposely wanted to get away from it being pigeonholed as, oh, that's just 80s, or oh, that's just another guitar record, or oh, that's more rock and roll metal. It's not like that at all. And again, it has all those virtuoso licks. It's got guitar solos. The guitar players won't be disappointed. In fact, they'll have their hands full if they know a lot about timing and rhythm and whatnot. But it's just, I guess there's a little bit of everything, I guess, kind of going on in there. Everything except for the really heavy stuff. I wanted to stay away from that on this record. I don't feel the need to do that again. I already kind of did that a bunch, and, it's time for, much more storytelling and stuff like that. So. Okay.
Real quick here, and stay on the line for a minute after we're done. I'm hanging out, yeah. Okay, I just wanted to get something else out real quick. Now, I think you play through EVH, Eddie Van Halen. What do you play through?
Yeah, absolutely. So the amps I use are the EVH. You're right about that. I play the 5153, not the latest model with the EL34s. Although the cabinet that the cabinet that I have is EL34s. Or that's what it says on it anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like the newer cabinet that they have. They have two different ones. It's kind of confusing, but the head has the other tubes in it. I forget which ones they are, but
something
for the EVH gear,
LS6s or something.
Yeah,
I forget what it is.
It might be the 6L6s. I'm not sure. I forget, but I use the EVH gear pretty much strictly in every gig now. I don't want to play anything else. That thing sounds amazing. And then, Les Pauls. You've probably seen. I play a custom shop, and that's pretty much it, man. I only use like 5 pedals too. I don't really use much. I don't like a lot of stuff. So I keep it with what I know works. Exactly.
I hear you. I got to where I had to set up. I had 2 PV 50 watt custom 50s, and then I had two 212 cabinets, Mesa Boogie cabinets. I had an AB switch, and I had a chorus on the clean amp, for the clean part.
Oh, nice.
And that's all I used. I just stepped on one damn thing. But I was singing too, so I didn't want to have too much shit to think about, or I'd forget words, But
Sure. Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah, you don't want to have to deal with. Yeah, nobody wants to tap dance on stage. I don't like that at all.
Yeah.
There's just so much that comes out of your hands with the guitar alone, like Eddie says. It's all in your hands, and then when you get a great amp behind you, I personally don't want to modify that. I don't see a point in, getting an amp if you're in a rock band that you don't like the distortion, so you put a tube screamer in front of it. It serves a purpose for some amps. It can tighten it up like a JCM 2000, but I just feel, you get an EVH, I mean, what more do you need? I just put a little delay. Yeah, a little delay, and I'm ready to go. I mean, it's as good as it's going to sound.
I've seen guys, I've ran sound before too for years, and we're helping out anyway. And I've seen guys put a triple rectifier on stage and then get a processor, and all they did was use the fucking, my freaking triple rectifier as a power amp. I wanted to smack the shit.
Yeah, well,
I don't understand that, man. I mean, it's.
I don't know.
God. Anyway.
I think, I think a lot of players, they get, and that's like a bit of advice too, I think, for a lot of guitar players, is a lot of them, they like really modify too much, and they try to get a sound that, it like, you spend more time trying to get a sound than you do your playing. And I think if you get your playing strong enough and you just kind of go play a bunch of amps just dry, if your playing's good enough, you're going to come across an amp that you like. You don't need a bunch of processors and a bunch of pedals and all that. I just don't think that's necessary. I really don't.
Yeah. Now, and one more question. Now, that EVH, isn't that Fender now? It's not PV?
Yeah, it's not PV.
It
I'm
is
pretty sure
okay.
it's Fender, exactly.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. So, cool. All right. Well, Brandon.
I don't know. Go ahead. I don't know the full details. But.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I was just saying, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know the full details. I just know what sounds good and that I like playing it. That's all.
I hear you. Well, Brandon, this is Brandon Paul from Stonebreed, lead guitar player, and also does some solo stuff. Now, what's it called? What's your solo stuff called?
Oh, well, what I already have out is called Reflections. That's an EP that's already out on iTunes, Spotify. You can see some playthroughs of me playing through some of my songs on my music page, YouTube. And the new record, it hasn't been recorded yet, so I don't have a name for it, but everyone can, stay tuned for it. I hope everyone checks it out, and it'll be out on Outvis.
Okay, but I mean the name, is it Brandon Paul? Is that what is? or?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's
Okay.
under,
Cool.
Of course, yeah. Everything's it's all under my name, Brandon Paul.
Okay.
And whatever. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Cool. Well, Brandon, it's been a pleasure, and good luck for just with the especially with the recording of the new solo album. And
I appreciate that.
anything new coming out with Stonebreed, or how's that looking?
Yeah, well, I mean, we just put out the album just a few months ago maybe now. So we're just playing a lot of shows. I mean, if you
Supporting that album?
if anybody, yeah, exactly. If anybody lives, in any of these dates or close to any of these shows, Texas or wherever we're going, come out to the shows. It's a great show, and I promise you won't be disappointed. So.
Okay. Well, Brandon, it's been a pleasure.
Well, there you have it. Episode number 20 with Brandon Paul of Stonebreed. Follow them on social media and at stonebreed.com. Remember to support live music, local, regional, and national. Buy music. Buy music. Don't forget to check out Daryl, Dirty D, at Dirty Outlaw Entertainment. Also check out these bands: Sweet Tooth Jones, Path to Eden, Shatterframe, American Automatic, and Pop Fiction. I also want to thank Michael Sweet of Striper and mention a few bands I saw last night at the venue in Cincinnati. 20 Spot, Pump 5, and Enough's Enough. Hell yeah, look them up. Be on the lookout for more contests and kick-ass interviews. Love to all, peace out, and join the revolution. Keep it live. This is Blevins Nation. I'm out.